I really like putting things in specific places to store them or to display them. And that's what we will be doing today in the AutoWood Workshop. Hey AutoWooders, and welcome to the AutoWood Workshop. And like I said in the intro, we're gonna make something to display or to store stuff. And that'll be another extension or add-on to my room build. So let's just make this short and sweet and go right into it. I started using a shelf by IKEA. It's this lac shelf that I had in another room, and I installed that. And the thing was that I didn't even have to cut it, because miraculously it was exactly the measurement I needed from one column from my cockpit to the other column on my cantina. So we installed that with some L brackets, and then we got on with the rest of the build. These overhead storage bins that I'm gonna make today were inspired by a trip that I did when I went on the Disney Wish, that they have this thing called the cargo bay. It's a play space for kids, like I mentioned in other videos. And they let us in the first day so we can see it and whatnot. So I just took a ton of videos, a ton of photos, and that really inspired a lot of things, especially this build. So we're gonna make an overhead bin with some doors that are gonna stay open to just put more collectibles and make things look more organized. So let's just get into it. So I cut out all these pieces of wood. These I screwed together and then I sanded them down so they could be all the same. But these are gonna be like the sides, and this is gonna be the center for the shelf, so that it has a decorative look and it looks structural. This is the centerpiece. I'm gonna have like a piece here cut at that angle, and another piece here cut at that angle, and cut here at this angle. So there's a lot of angles to cut, and this is gonna just be in the center to give it like a decorative look and also make it look more structural, more stronger. And since the sides are thin, to do the same thing, even though I should have left the top part and you could just glue it here, but now I'm just going to glue these here or staple them and do the same. But these are just half, because this is a 1/4 inch. These are going to be against the walls, so I cut that piece here and this piece here at these angles. So now for these parts here, I'm going to try and use some blue tape. Hold it here and put these pieces that go here and glue them. First, let me just mark the angle that I need to cut, and how I'm going to do that is putting this on top of here, just marking that angle there. That way I can cut it. So let's cut that piece. I can cut this with my chop saw, but I'm going to try and do it by hand, so let's see how this goes. Not bad, might need some sanding, but let's see. Nice. So I'm going to glue this here. That's why I'm putting the tape. So I'm going to do this, put some tape, some glue here. Like I said, I would have left the top part. It would have been much easier. Just put some glue on here. Just put that there and use more tape to just hold it down in position. I put a couple of dots of super glue just to hold it down, make sure it's secure. I think it's stronger than just using tape. So what we need to do is, when we do this side, we got to do it on the other side, because this is going to be on the right, on the left, and this one's going to be on the right. So this one has to be on the other side. So let's do it this way. And now for the top and back portion, I'm using D-board or Coroplast. that I had from a movie that I worked on. I cut out the shape in one piece, and then I slit halfway where the joint is supposed to be so it would bend. This got scraped here, but I'll touch it up later. So let's put this in here first. I think it'll make it easier. So that was a bad idea. So now I'm going to use some black tape to secure that together. And I'm going to put it all along this edge, and later on I have to take off the screen, open the window so I can screw in through here, this place. But for now I'm going to put tape over it and then just retouch the paint because I got to retouch here and a couple other places. So black tape it is. Okay, so I put some heavy duty double-sided tape on all the parts. I marked the center on the back and in the front, and I'm just gonna stick this into there. Let's see how it goes. It seems simple, but most of the time things aren't as simple as they seem. Yeah, push it up so it doesn't stick, and trying to keep it straight here. So after I built this and I had it up like for a week, I kept on looking at it and I found that it was too gray. Everything in my room is too gray because it's 3 different shades of gray. And that's where my room is based on. Even though other places have colors, but those are push buttons and LEDs, etc. This didn't have any of that. And I always wanted to put some color in my room. Didn't know what color to put in. I thought some maybe rust orange or maybe some reds. And when I saw the inspiration in the Disney Wish cargo bay, I like the red, but I think for me it's too much. Red is not really a color that I tend to use or like a lot. So I went to my fellow creatives in the Star Wars Builders group, and I asked, what color you guys think I should do? Should I leave it gray? Well, just an opinion, and that will help me decide if I should change it or not. So I did decide on putting a color, and I didn't want to spend any money like always because I'm a cheapskate. And I had these small samples that were given to me of paint. One was purple, one was blue. Wasn't going to use purple, of course. So I used this dark blue and just painted a little piece and showed my wife. She liked it because my wife has better taste than I do. I decided to change it from gray to blue, and that's what we have now. So let's just keep on going with the build. And after painting it blue, I weathered it. So I started to make a template with this foam board so I can cut out whatever material. I was thinking maybe wood or PVC and just bend it. But this has to be lightweight. It's not going to open and close. It's going to be just like on the top of that overhead bin. So I might use the same material. So I'm just going to use this. I'm going to bend it to the angle that I picked up here from the corner. I used some paper, some tape to make this angle. And just glue it in here. Then maybe fortify it a bit, put some PVC strips or maybe just paper mache. So let's see what I go with. And I can just put this up there, and it's lightweight. So I printed out these so they can be like inserts in the middle so we can see through them. But then I can glue this on here after I paint them and just bend it to the angle that we need. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to use these because they're lightweight. It's going to be fake. So yeah, let's do it. I use hot glue to hold in the angle before fortifying the piece. I'm gonna use some paper towels, some wood glue, just to do like a layer on here to fortify it a bit. It's pretty strong. It's not gonna hold a lot of weight, just the 3D prints, but I'm gonna put that, just one layer on this top. On the bottom, I might just paint it, maybe put some sawdust on it to just make it look like used. So using this, I'm gonna cut another one. It's gonna be easier because it's a whole piece. And then I'll do the bends and then reinforce them also. Just let them out to dry. I then cut wood strips where the hinges are gonna go. I 3D printed these grates and these go here. I need to heat them up to bend them to put here, but I gotta stick two of them together. This is as big as I can print on my print bed, so somehow I gotta put these together first, cut them to size, paint them, and maybe then bend them. So here I kind of glued them on with some CA glue, and it's holding, but I don't know, I don't think it'll be strong enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the wood burner and maybe weld a little bit in the back, make it one piece. So sometimes I tend to overbuild stuff. This is working pretty good, but I'm just wanting it to be stronger. So I cut out these pieces of wire and I bent it at the angle that it needs to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them in here to maintain the angle and also to give it a little bit more stability and make it stronger so it keeps that form. We will never see this because this will be up against the ceiling because the door is going to be open. So I'm going to do this and maybe put another layer of paper mache on top, or maybe just duct tape, maybe some strong Gorilla tape, and yeah, after that's going to be all painted. This is going to be up against the ceiling, so yeah, this is going to be the extra step to make it even stronger. I first glued the wire on with hot glue, and then I put on some Gorilla Glue duct tape. So I hit it here with some primer just to cover up a little bit that red, and then I'm going to hit it with different silver paints. So on these doors I'm going to use this paint I've used before. It's rugged black, has a texture. Just give it some texture, and just at least this one that has tape, try to cover that up a little bit. So it ran out and all I did was that, and that's horrible. So I'm gonna see if I could use a brush and kind of fix that out, and then see what I can do here. If not, I'm gonna have to buy another one of these, but I don't want to go buy anything. First thing I grabbed was this foam brush. Let me see if I can fix this a little bit here. Yeah, it might work. And that's not looking how I thought, but let me keep working on it and see what I can get. Or maybe just doing this. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. If not, I'm gonna have to get rid of that. I don't know, somehow kind of fix it. Well, it tries to fix it with some thinner and a brush, and it did smooth it out a little bit, but not much, so there's no way to get that off there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a little bit of Alex Flex. It's a flexible filler, and I'm gonna try to just make everything look kind of the same. And this one that I haven't done anything on it, just give it some texture too. So I put it on, and what I'm gonna try to do is with some water, just spray some water on, and then with the brush, kind of stipple it around to give it some texture, kind of get rid of all these tape marks and stuff. Let's see how that comes out. And after I paint it, that could look kind of like rust. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. Okay, now it's dry. I'm gonna put a little coat of black on it because I'm gonna paint all this with dark blue, the same as I did with the overhead box. So just gonna put some black to cover this up and have that as a base for the blue. Okay, so this is how it's looking so far. It's all glued at the back. I'm gonna show you with the other door how I did this. So first, I measure where I need to cut. It's gonna be right around here. So just a pair of scissors. I'm gonna cut the worst part out of it, and I think it's this side. So let's measure from here. Yeah, cut it down through here. And I mark where I'm going to have it in position. I'm going to use these lines to lever it out. So turn on the hot glue gun, and I'm going to glue all this first just to keep it in place, and then I'm going to hot glue going up all the way to the bend. Okay, now that that's done, what I'm gonna do, use a torch. You can use a heat gun, but I have more control with this small torch. And I'm just gonna heat it up along this line, and it's gonna start falling that way. After it starts falling, I'm gonna move these little weights all the way to the end, so it could hold it down and help it bend completely in one place. I'm just gonna heat it up like about a span of an inch and have it by itself bend over. So now we let this cool off, and we just glue the top. I then measured and marked where the hinges go and installed them. So I found this strut online, this file, and I 3D printed it, and it came out to be too thin and maybe too weak to hold that up. So what I did was I altered it in the slicer, made it bigger. Then I printed these out and made the bases for the top and the bottom. I designed them in Fusion 360 like this, the bottom base and the top base swivel, so I can connect it and put it all together. These also have some little pieces here that swivel, but I'm gonna just glue that and make it just a permanent piece. So this goes up here. This would be like this, and this will be on the bottom against another portion. So yeah, let's finish painting these and then putting it all together. I hope you enjoyed this build and it inspires you to maybe make something like this of your own. As you know, I try to use things that I have or things that are given to me, like materials and stuff. And I try not to spend too much because this could become a pretty expensive hobby. But for my part, I really enjoyed it. I hope you did. And if you like this video, give us a like down in the bottom and also share it so other people can see it. And if you're not subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing and it helps the channel grow and it helps us out a lot. And also, we have a Patreon. If you want to support us in that matter, the link is down in the description. So I want to thank you once again for being here with me in the Outerworld Workshop, and see you next time when we make something out of this world.